Surprise, it decided to rain after all. I slept in a little later than I wanted to. It's 7 o'clock now. I just finished eating, so I'm gonna pack up and try to get out of here around 8 and get 6 miles from the border. It is 8:19, and the rain's been off and on. I'm all set to go. I just gotta break down the tent, and I'm content to wait for a little pause in the rain. But while I wait for a pause in the rain, I want to take a second to appreciate this pair of trail runners I got in Bend. So that's mile 2000, if I remember correctly. And I am 30 miles from Canada, so I missed about 31 miles due to the wildcat fire, but if I go up to Canada and back, that's that 30 miles right there. So these trail runners will have 655 miles on them approximately, and I think that's the most I've ever put on a pair of Solomons, and they're still in pretty good shape. They're not coming apart at the seams anywhere. The toe cleats aren't coming off, and I don't know, I'd have to put on a new pair to really feel the difference in the support, but my feet aren't killing me, so I feel like the support's pretty good. Now, I haven't been fording rivers every other day, so that helps keep the trail runners in good condition when they stay dry. And we are back on the PCT. Getting a later start at 8:45 than I want to, so we might not be able to go to the lake, which is 6 miles away from the border, that I wanted to. We'll see. Maybe I'll night hike because I'm getting a late start, but we'll just see how the water is and how the campsites are. 6 miles would be good because then it's just 3 hours in the morning to the border, but I don't know how I feel. 8 wouldn't be bad. 10 might be too much. Can't worry about tomorrow or the border or things I can't control. But the issue is I don't want to be at the border with 20 to 30 people. I wanted to give myself a chance to get there early before everyone else. I just saw my first hiker coming back today, finishing bordering, I assume yesterday. I don't know if they hiked through the night, it's early. But it was fun to see them. It's hard for me to imagine anyone's been hiking anywhere near me with bagpipes, and I haven't heard them play them yet, so I don't know if this person just comes out here and they're from the area and they play bagpipes, but this is pretty epic. I hope I walk right by them and I'll find out their story. This trail really is magic. So I met the bagpiper, and the story's even better than I could have imagined myself. It would have been cool if it was a thru hiker carrying bagpipes, but it is a thru hiker's friend who has come out to meet him, and the bagpipes are a surprise. I don't know if meeting them all together is a surprise, but it's a hiker from Scotland named Matt with red hair, so I already have too much information on the guy. It's my job to keep a secret and not say anything to ruin the surprise about his friend waiting around the corner playing bagpipes to celebrate him finishing the PCT. But I wish I could stay and see his reaction. I don't even know who he is. It is more fun than I thought, meeting people on their victory lap, heading back. I always thought about me coming back. I never really thought about me going to Canada and seeing the people on their way back, but it's been surprisingly fun for me. Now, they're not all enthusiastic, but some of them might be tired. They've been hiking for a while. I just saw that kid Nat. He was sitting with 4 other people. He was part of that big tramily that was at White Pass Cracker Barrel with me. And I saw some of them all the way to Leavenworth, and then I zeroed in Leavenworth, and I haven't seen any of them since until today. I had looked at far out, I guess around noon. It's a little past 1 now, and I was 16 miles away from the lake where I wanted to camp last night. There was another spot farther up the trail than that, a junction, but that's probably too far away unless I really find a rhythm. But the lake was viable, so 12 o'clock, if I hiked 2 miles per hour, if I just night hiked a little bit, I could get to that lake. But I also wanted to mention, I just saw a hiker that I've been seeing and hiking around and meeting in town by chance ever since Chinook Pass. He hiked the bypass Blue Trail, and I got dropped off at Chinook Pass, but I saw him at the first water source, and just a really good kid, nice young man from England. His trail name's Strider, and it was the first time I got emotional today. So, you know, he's one of the people I probably like the most. Haven't really hiked with him because he is fast. He's a tall, thin young man, but he earned his trail name, Strider. I left Snoqualmie with him. I saw him in Leavenworth. I think I saw him, I might have seen him around Stehekin. Yeah, I saw him at the bakery in Stehekin. So I've just been seeing him a lot in town and talking to him on trail. We camped near each other coming out of Snoqualmie. We literally left and got on trail at the same time, but he's just faster than me. So I've seen like 25 people today, and it's been fun. Some people I've had an issue with in the past, and today's a day to let bygones be bygones. A lot of people I've never seen before. Everyone's in a good mood. They just finished. Might have been 3 people that were complete stone-faced unemotional about it, but the majority of the people are fist bumping and congratulating you. But when I saw Strider, you know, it just hit me. Probably not going to see him again. He'll get to Mazama and make his way to Seattle, and I'll be a day and a half behind. So, you know, I said it was nice to meet you and nice to hike around you, and you know, that one hit me. I don't know how many of those there'll be, but it's just another page in the last chapter of this story coming to an end. I didn't really meet a lot of people who I thought I liked or bonded with, and I didn't get to know him that well. He's a quiet kid, but I really liked him, and I thought we had good interactions. So that's part of it. It's part of it that I probably cheated myself out of quite a bit because I struggle to meet people, and I have to own half of that. But So after looking at these mountains most of the day, I just saw I get to go up there. And that might be Woody Pass up there, or it's around there. And then there's Rock Pass. But anyway, it's just another example of how a lot of times the PCT shows you where you're gonna go. Sometimes it's more exciting than others. I'm looking forward to being up there. We are 14.7 from the border, and assuming that person's not in their tent and they are somewhere in between the border and here, I'm guessing they may have left the majority of their stuff there and they slacked back to the border. So I mean, it's just under 30 miles, so whatever that is, 29.4. But then you gotta celebrate. So your slack packing is totally doable, but it's still 29.4. This looks favorable. So I saw Jonathan, who was my buddy in the beginning for a couple of weeks, really from the first night to Cajon Pass. We saw each other quite often. We came out of Big Bear Lake at the same time. So I saw him, and I saw Julie from Germany, who was hiking with him. I saw her once. She was hiking with her mother at the time. Her mother was going to go home to Germany. It was just a short section hike for her, but Julie was doing the whole PCT. And those two were hiking together. So it's such a small world. I hiked with and around Jonathan for weeks, and I saw Julie, or Jules, that one time in Idlewild. And I haven't seen her since Idlewild, and I haven't seen him since Cajon Pass. I'm low-key, but in a fun way, mad that I didn't hike the whole trail with them. My hike has been amazing, but that would have been epic to hike the trail with them. Whoever did this wins. They're a genius. So I've looked at far out a few times, and I'll get to the lake early, around 6. And then the junction is probably an hour and 15 minutes beyond that. So maybe I won't get to the lake junction at 6. But I shouldn't have to night hike that much to get to the junction. So the lake is like 6 miles from the border, and the junction is like 4. I've decided I'll just wait and see when I get to the lake. I'm okay with either one. The question is the unknown. I've seen so many people today going back to Hart's Pass. So when I had seen the lake and took a video of it, I had made up my mind I'm going to stay at the lake. Somebody who finished and is heading back to Mazama told me there are spots there, and there are. But the crowd there, they're all good people, but some of them haven't finished, some of them have. They're all going to party. A lot of them are stoners. You can smell the weed in the campsite, and it's pretty expansive. So I found a couple of spots in the trees, not near the lake. Nothing was really near the lake. And somebody had flattened out their tent and hung their food in the sack. And so I just knew that person went and boarded and is going to come back, and is probably going to be up all night talking about it. And I just don't want to be at that camp. They're going to be too loud, I can tell. So I wasted a fair amount of time looking around, but I'm gonna push on to the junction and we'll see. I don't know how many people will be there. I'll make do. I'll be able to find something. But anything is going to be better than loud. I don't want to spend my last night before I border at a loud campsite. So from way up before I started switching back down, that lake looked tranquil and peaceful. And that's exactly where I wanted to stop early. I'd like to have a good day tomorrow. I want to border, celebrate, and then possibly hike all the way back to Hart's Pass. Or get super close so I can just wake up and start looking for a ride. We started together. Steph finished.
Nice.
Yeah.
Finish tomorrow.
Yes, sir.